What's going on, guys? And today I'm going to be working on A's car, the other part of this channel. Now, her car keeps on saying that she's on empty when the reality is that the car is on full because we just filled it up. Now, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And the few symptoms that you notice right away is that the little needle is going to go empty and then back to the middle, or like back to empty and then full. And then the other one is that you're gonna get a check engine light. And now if you have a OBD2 reader and you hook it up to the car, it's gonna say one of the code and the issue, and it's gonna say fuel level sensor not found or misreading. Now the turbometer right here, it has its own fuel level sensor. So for example, right when we filled it, this car is supposed to do around 300 miles per tank, and it wasn't even doing 300, it was doing 200. So that's one of the things that could be causing the fuel level sensors could be causing this to not be the correct reading. So if you're going by the turbometer, I wouldn't recommend it, because for example, she filled it up the whole way, and one day she got stranded because it said in the turbometer that she still had another 120 something miles when in reality it was an empty tank. So this car does have two fuel level sensors. It has one for the turbometer and one for the fuel gauge. So make sure when you're buying your parts you get both of them and you don't just buy one. Now when working in the electrical system, I recommend that you disconnect the positive. Now here's the few reasons why: because you're going to be working with gas, and anything could cause a flame and could cause it to ignite. And make sure you put it away. I usually put it behind the terminal right there. Now to get to the fuel, both of the fuel level sensors, you have to remove the back seat. Now to remove the back seat, you're gonna have these covers, and the best way I recommend is with a screwdriver, and then get it by the corner, and then it's a 14mm bolt. And if you have impact tools or any type of power tools, they'll make your life a lot easier. So make sure you put it at the highest speed. Now if you want to be more organized, you can put the bolts inside and put this in a safe place. Now you have two more on the driver's side. Now in this side we don't have it, so we don't have nothing removed. Now we have the cover back here, same thing as the other side. Pop it up. Now this is the front. Now you're gonna have four 14mm bolts in the back if you lift up these little tabs and you put the seats down. So what you want to do is take them all off and then lift the seats out. And so you don't lose the bolts, use a little magnetic tool to get them out. Look the same and keep it in a safe place. Now removing both seats. Same thing. Now over the years, you're gonna get a lot of excess trash or just things that, for example, keys that slip down. So you're gonna vacuum, since the gasoline tank is right here, and this is the regular sensor and that's the turbometer sensor. So you make sure you have a clean surface, that way the gas doesn't get contaminated.
Hey,
Alright, so you're gonna have two little doors that you're gonna have, they have cutouts, and then you have to cut them. This is gonna be the main fuel sensor, and this is gonna be the thermometer, second sensor. So we're gonna start with this one, and just grab one of the cutouts, and you can grab a knife if you want. Now, when you open this, you're gonna have a lid with a wiring harness, and then this pops out. Now you don't want to pull it too hard because you have connections underneath, so you want to disconnect these connections before you plug it out. Now, you have to use this special tool for this exact model. I will link this down in the description. And this goes like this. And you put a breaker bar on it. And you break it loose. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots that it holds on to the gas tank to. And then you get this loose, and you pull out the whole unit. Now, this is, make sure you empty it first, but this is the unit that has gone bad. And what happens is over time, over so much going back and forth, the little contact ports on the little board gets worn out and they start not reading. So you have a little tab right here that you have to press down, and they're gonna slide out, and the cable, they wrap it around so you don't have extra cable around your gas tank. And same thing on the sending unit. Now, when changing out for the new sensor, make sure you get new O-rings since you open your gas tank, and you won't be having the same pressured inside if you use the old one than if you use a new one. So look out for that and make sure that the right size and everything. This is the old one and it's nice and worn out, and this is the new one, and you slipped it on the sending unit and you put it around the lip of the tank, and that's that. Now moving to the sending unit. So you slide it over. You slide it over and make sure it clips on place. And same as factory, the way it came. You twist the cable around and the little connector clips in. Now, when putting the sending unit down, make sure you don't hit it against the lip of the tank. And make sure you put the locking ring on. So after playing for a little bit, it turns out that the best way is to get this tube out and both of them out and away from the cap, and push down the plastic and make sure that the bottom, the metal ring, goes into the little grooves. And then when you're ready and you have it all aligned, you pop it back. You put it back in place. Now putting this back together, make sure you put the connection back on and check that the gas lines are all good and they're clipped on. This is behind the driver's side, and this is going to be where the whole sending unit, which that's called. And here you're going to find fuel pump, the main fuel sending unit, incoming lines and return lines. You can see them, they're marked right there. And you're gonna have 2 clips that you're gonna have to disconnect. It's the same process on the other side. You use the same tool with the brake bar to unlock the gas tank ring, and you have the return. This is the return, and if you want to have a little bit better space and have more room while you work, make sure you disconnect, but you have to reconnect it once you're putting the whole unit back on. So this is the main sending unit, and I suggest you put some towels so gas doesn't get all over your carpet and you have that smell for days. So this is the replacement. Make sure you have the correct one. So make sure you have the same plug, same everything. Now, same thing as the other side. You have a clip, push it down, slides over, and this is just a simple clip. Same thing is coming out. You slide it in, put it behind the clip. Don't forget to put the O-ring, the new one, and make sure you go and grab that one return line. Now you put it at an angle so you don't damage the sensor, and it's the only way that it's going to fit in. This lip is supposed to be going towards you. That way it settles nice. Just like that. Connecting back the lines, the connectors.
So after a few days of driving around, and we actually did fill up the car, the range turned out to work perfectly fine, and the needle didn't jump anymore. And then on the dashboard it also says the average miles per gallon, and it's actually accurate now. Before it wouldn't show anything, so that's great. The sensors are working fine. If you like this video, stay tuned. We upload videos every Monday. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All the links for those will be in the description. Like this video and subscribe.